sure all of us are educators here and are current teachers, right? And I'm sure you will all be agreeing with me. Yes, no, maybe. When I say that education is ever changing. Yes, no, maybe. Type in the chat. Education is always changing. There's always new things when it comes to the education field. Yes, exactly. No, back in 1980s, these types of computers were considered like a great advancement, introducing computers to schools. And back then, it's like this big blocky computers. But schools teachers have to adapt to these emerging changes. Then comes 2000s. The integration of smart classrooms, smart boards, smart TVs when it comes to everyday teaching. That was 2000s, right? If your school, right, educators have then again educate themselves to use this technology when it comes to learning. Now comes 2020s. Pandemic struck. The education was brought to its knees and was forced to adapt and change. Like dismantling this traditional four corners of classroom, and there's this rise of online learning. To add to this, there's also AI. Actually, did you know that AI is being made a mandatory subject? It started in China, then US, and quite recently in the UAE. A lot of our teachers are coming from the UAE. There's been this announcement that there's this AI being made as a mandatory subject. So, other countries will follow as well. So the future is unpredictable. It's ever changing. We do not know what will happen. Changes like salad recipes, 100%. So the question then becomes, are you ready to enhance your skills and become future ready? With all of these changes that are coming, are you ready to enhance your skills and become future ready? That is a question that you will be asking yourself throughout this conversation. Now, that is why actually the International Teachers University is built. It is a university wherein the sole focus are on the teachers' development. That's why that's the name. Right? It is a university that all the work that is being done is all about the teacher skills and preparing the teachers and equipping them to be, when it comes to the skills needed to be future ready. So there will be a quick poll coming up on your screen, right? And I just wanted to have, I would say, just a curiosity that I want to hear from our audience. I would like to know, right? Are you considering or have you considered applying for an M.Ed program before? You'll see something on your screen. Click yes, no, maybe, or maybe if it's something that brushed up to your mind that, oh, Hamed, interesting, or something that you've been looking at for a while? Yes, no, or you'd like to know more. So roughly 57% or more than half of our teachers here for today saying yes, meaning to say masters in education has something that's been in their mind that they considered applying. And half, or like I would say almost half says that they'd like to know more, which is interesting. So get your answers in, and the poll will should end in about, let's give it a few seconds. So that tells us more about like what kind of audience we have for today, wherein a lot of people are quite curious when it comes to the masters in education. So with that being said, I would like to introduce our guest speaker for today. Okay. Got it. So our guest speaker for today will be providing us a more in-depth look when it comes to the masters in education within the International Teachers University and provide answers when it comes to our burning questions regarding the developments in teaching, and of course also talk about the program. I'm thrilled to introduce Professor Loulou, our esteemed academic director whose extensive experience in the education sector is matched only by unwavering commitment to academic excellence. Lulu's distinguished career positions her as an invaluable mentor and guide for our teachers. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Ms. Lulu. How was your day so far?
Thank you so much, Jan. I'm always happy to be meeting with a group of educators who are interested in their own development and in their own growth. And I feel privileged to be among everyone today. I've had a wonderful day. I hope everybody here too, has had a wonderful day. It starts the evening here for me. I don't know, maybe it's afternoon for you guys. It might be morning. So I wish you all a wonderful day, and I hope you find this session useful, insightful, and it will help you in your growth development. It will help or share some insights on your decision making so that you can take an informed decision for your future.
100%, 100%. And as we have this conversation, a lot of people are, interacting and agreeing that the education has been ever changing. So I kind of like want to get your, pick your brain over this, Miss Lulu. What are your overall thoughts when it comes to the changes that are happening in the education field as of the moment?
All right, Jan. Education, I feel like so many other fields have been evolving so fast, specifically for the last few years. You've mentioned in your introduction, maybe we felt it like ahead the time when the COVID hit
Yeah.
and all of us were forced to manage our classes from just behind the screen. No, like as teachers, we are very social, we thrive on human connection, and that was suddenly taken away and we all had to teach through the screens. And I think when we came back into physical settings, when we came back into the classrooms, a lot has changed by then. But not only that, we joined back, now we're back in classes, and now there is the revolution of AI. AI is everywhere, it's a buzzword, everybody's talking about that. There are so many tools, so many things happening, and I think as educators, we are feeling a bit overwhelmed with this overload of material and stuff and resources out there. So definitely, I would say our role has changed so much. We have more and more become uh, guides in the class. The
Mm.
skills that we need to teach are different right now. We used to focus on teaching reading and writing skills. We used to focus on teaching maybe lower levels of Bloom's taxonomy. I think educators are here, they understand what I'm saying. Now we are more about teaching problem solving skills, critical thinking, collaborations. Even the skills that we are teaching are different. So I think it has made our job more challenging, but also more exciting
Right.
because there are a lot of tools that are help us out there, and if we are equipped the right way, if we are in the right mindset, we have the proper training, we can do magic in outstanding ways.
Right. And I agree. Definitely, yes, a lot of things has changed as you mentioned, and that kind of also scares a lot of our educators when it comes to their career, and that comes with uncertainty as well. And as you mentioned, as lifelong learners, right, training ourselves when it comes to these changes is the key to overcome like the challenges when it comes to our future career. And also with that in mind, we also need to watch out on like which programs to choose and which one suits our needs, right? And I want to kind of like give a quick glimpse when it comes to the International Teachers University's Masters in Education. And this tells us that this is a 12-month program, right? It's delivered online. It is considered like as the first Masters in Education program built upon like the international standards, focused on supporting teachers' advancement and preparing teachers for future challenges, as we mentioned. And it provides the freedom when it comes to like balancing work. So for those who are working, that and are looking to further their studies, and this is against from the from the US. So it is approved by the Higher Education Licensure Commission in Washington D.C. It is an approval body in DC in USA. So it's the same government body that approves like these universities: Arizona State University, Brown, John Hopkins, and like Berkeley. That includes Stanford as well. And again, this is just a quick introduction, a quick run through. But our guest for today, and Miss Lulu, and will be able to. She's excited to share with us like a deeper insight when it comes to the program, And I think, Ms. Lulu, I speak for everyone when I say that there's a lot of universities out there, right, that provides
Right.
masters in education. So why should, say, for example, like Arsha or Nadia or any one of our audience here for today should pursue their masters in education program from the International Teachers University? So what sets ITU's M.Ed apart? Could you enlighten us on that?
Right. Since you were on the page of on the licensing committee and all, of course, first thing that you need to check for is the certificate valid? Is this a valid university? You have to check those parts, which is already we've ticked the box on that. So definitely, we know that we trust this institute, and the final certification that we get would be approved by a higher committee. That's number one. But I think the other things that we would be looking for, or what sets ITU's M.Ed apart, one is the curriculum. Second is the learning journey, the experience that the learners go through this M.Ed. Third would be the flexibility, being online. So if you'd like, I'd like to just take some time and expand a bit on each of those points, right? So
Sure.
first,
Go ahead.
it's created by teachers for teachers. So as a teacher myself and the team that we work together, we understand what a teacher's life is. We understand the pressure, the struggle, the responsibilities, and all the things that a teacher has to juggle in order to be effective in the class and be effective in their
Mhm.
personal lives. So we've designed the program in a way that it's 100% online. The teachers can join the program, do everything online. It's some bits of it is synchronized, some bits it's asynchronized.
Mm.
So and there would be a team member from the university who would be guiding you on building your journey, on maybe decide when is the time for you to work on the self-paced work, when is the time to work on assignments, when is the time to work on different things. There'll be guidance on that, and it'll be flexible, and you can finish it in 1 year. So basically,
Right.
this is one strength. The second strength is the learning experience. uh, as educators, we who have studied so much about learning, who we understand how do we keep the learners, since we teach this, right? We teach how do we keep our learners involved, how do we stretch them to reach their highest potential, how do we make sure that all of that happens. We've designed the program that way, where the learners are part of a community. They communicate together, they meet once a week, they do sessions, they learn on their own, and they don't develop only pedagogical skills. We work a lot on the pedagogical skills, but they also develop skills that are needed for our 21st century right now, where we
Mhm.
need to be it's the world of social media, it's the world of being there online, it's the world of building identities for ourselves, right? So,
Right.
other than the pedagogical skills, the learners build their international educator skills, where we take them out of their comfort zone to develop activities where they invite guests and they get involved in their communities, and they make where it is all hands on, and they create an impact in what they do. And of course, the curriculum is very strong. The curriculum we've had, our team has researched international teacher standards from different countries across the world and built this strong foundation of the curriculum, where a teacher who takes this program can teach
Mhm.
in any part of the world, can teach with
Anyone.
any resources, can teach in a classroom where maybe we still work with a pen and a paper and maybe white chalk, or can teach in a classroom where there are a lot of resources, there is a lot of AI, there is a lot of 21st century materials available. All of that
Mm.
because we focus on the core pedagogy, on which I believe is the base of
Mhm.
teacher education. A good,
So like
an
skills
outstanding
that is
teacher is a
applicable.
teacher who has the proper base. Just please
Right.
interrupt me.
Yeah, so it's like skills that are applicable like despite many or less resources in the school, is you mean to say.
Right, right.
Okay.
If I look at what you're sharing right now, it sums it up in a way where uh, um, you can be studying anywhere, and also it will qualify you to teach anywhere. So
Mm,
like if you're like we have, let's say today, many people from South Africa with us today, maybe some of you want to teach in a country like in the Gulf area, maybe in the UAE, in Saudi
yeah,
Arabia, you want to teach in the USA. So you can study, finish your studies while you're in South Africa, get this US degree, and move to any part in the world that you'd love to. Pedagogy, maybe we'll talk a bit later on
yeah,
about the pedagogy when we discuss the
right,
curriculum. You'll be
yeah,
connected with people from all over the world. You can finish it in 1 year, and
right.
sky is the limit
Yeah.
for you then.
Right. So in all to sum it up, right? The advantage of being able to do your professional development even while working, teaching, or being anywhere in the world, that's the flexibility. You mentioned, learning not just any kind of skills, but the pedagogical skills that are relevant when it comes to like the classrooms today, and again, anywhere in the world, so that you can take it, teach anywhere. And you mentioned as well like the curriculum, like applicable skills that are applicable, like the learning skills that are applicable like anywhere, and being despite like less or many resources. So you mentioned, one of the things that sets ITU's I mean apart is like the program curriculum. So could you give me more details about this? Like what are the core pedagogical courses when it comes to like the program itself?
Yeah, right. So the whole program is 10 courses. We have 8 core courses that are mandatory for everyone, because these provide the basis of pedagogy. Like if you look at the titles here, they're on the screen. So of course we do technology, we do learning taxonomies, curriculum design, learning needs, and since we are planning to teach internationally and English would be the major language of instruction, we focus on teaching English. Uh, Questioning and assessment are very, very, very important in our daily work as teachers. So we go to the basics of those 8 core pedagogy courses. Everything, so for all those 8 courses, there would be self-paced learning on our
Mm,
learning LMS, on an account where the content is all created by our research team. Right, it's not like just
mm,
YouTube videos from here and there just put together to create a course. We have different teams working on different things. So there would be self-paced learning. There will be instructor-led classes where people meet together in one room with professional professors from different parts of the world. Those professors would usually have around 20 to 25 years of experience. They would have taught in different parts of the world, so they already have an international mindset. Plus, the people, your classmates, are going to be from different parts of the world. So we bring in the international context in that. So I like some of our learners share how exciting it is to come with a problem or with an incident that happened in their class and share it with someone else from a different part of the world, and having different insights on that. The discussion becomes so rich. For those, the learners would also build skill evidence portfolios, which becomes the core of their work, where, like, let's say I'm learning today instructional strategies, then I would have to design activities, to design lesson plans. That it's not that I designed those and just put them, file them for my skill portfolio. No, I design those
right.
activities. I go apply them in my own classroom, no matter where I am in the world, no matter what curriculum my school follows, no matter which level my students are. I will design it based on my own classroom, deliver it, receive feedback on it, and then it becomes part of my skill evidence portfolio.
Right. And this skill
So
evidence
all
is
of
something
this
that,
happens for all of this. I'm
yeah.
talking too much
And
today. Sorry, Jack.
no, so this skill evidence is something that you can also kind of like use later down the line when it comes to like, showcasing your skills, to, opportunities that you
Right, right. It can be used as it will be an amazing tool for you for as a teacher. If you want to apply for a raise in your school, you can present this evidence and say, "See, I did this program, and these are the skills that I have developed. So now I deserve a leadership position," for example. Or
Right.
if you're applying for a different school of a different curriculum or to a different country. Let's say you're applying to the US for a school, you can share this as an evidence. And I always tell our learners that whenever you're building this skill evidence, wear the hat of a school leader who would want to hire you in their school
Right.
so that, they feel, wow,
Right.
uh, I'm picking the name
So
lovely. I
they'll
want
be
this.
able to see it. Right.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
And
they'll say, oh, mm,
exactly.
I
And
want to
that's
hire a teacher that has this level of curriculum design skills, who can design a curriculum this way. So you have the proof for that.
got it. And usually when people do kind of like an output when it comes to like doing the professional development, and they're the ones, and plus like the school gets to see it. Other than that, like no one else gets to see it. And that's kind of like, oh, after you graduate, it's just there.
Right.
Right, right. And it's not
We've
something.
discussed this a lot where we as teachers usually, I know magic happens in our classrooms every single day, but then it's
Mhm.
usually us, our students, maybe our parents, maybe our school leaders would see that. But with this skill evidence portfolio, we offer teachers the chance to share their magic with the world so that let the world see what kind of magic you create in your classroom every day.
100%. And moving forward, again, all of this core pedagogical courses, AI is embedded into that course. So understanding like competency, building the competency to like use it to your everyday teaching. Now moving ahead, there's also, I would say, four focus courses that you can choose from, plus an action research.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you run us through on this, Lulu?
Sure. So usually as teachers, we specialize in one area, right? So the core eight core sub courses are there for everyone. But then as an English teacher, I want to learn more about how my teaching English becomes more effective. That's where every teacher can choose their specialty. If you are teaching a subject that is not English, that's not math, that's not early years, like maybe you teach history, maybe you teach arts, any other subject, you can take the specialist subject specialty. Now you might ask me, how can will I as an art teacher be doing the same things as a history teacher? And I'll tell you no, because it is designed in a way that it is where you will be doing the work specific to your subject, specific to your level, right?
Gotcha.
And everyone will have to do an action research. This is something that we take so much pride in because this is where teachers get to solve real problems that they face in their schools, that they face in their classrooms, that they face in their communities. And this puts the teachers also on the map of education researchers. So
Right.
as a teacher, I'm struggling with something in my school, or I'm struggling with something with certain students in my classroom. I can create an action research around that. Our academic team will be supporting you in creating the whole aspects of the research, and
Got it.
this is a great tool to be solving education problems of today.
And that's just one of the many ways wherein you can apply what you're learning to like real life scenarios. And part of that
Right.
as well, right? Part of the curriculum is like, as you mentioned, putting them out of their comfort zones, like immersing students to like webinars, panel discussions. Like, can you enlighten us regarding this?
Right. As I mentioned at the beginning, throughout the curriculum, the teachers will be developing pedagogical skills, but also they'll be developing the 21st century skills like uh, uh, other than critical thinking and problem solving and all of that. We shed the light on our teachers because, as we said earlier, teachers don't always receive the glow that they deserve. So we offer them a chance to design their own master classes, their own panel discussions, where they reach out to school leaders from across the world and they host them and they discuss and solve for issues of the day, you know.
Mm,
And we've received a lot of warming feedback from our learners who have done those two activities, the master classes and the panel discussions. um, they were nervous at first because this is something new for them. They've been put out of their comfort zone, but they've been supported by the team and they've created outstanding results. And if any of the teachers who are with us tonight, if you're interested to see what that looks like, you can find it on our website. You can see what our learners have and are continuously developing on those
right.
areas.
And these
And
are
this
people who
also,
are enrolled for the program.
helps.
Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
This also helps the teachers in this century where social media presence is important when we are speaking with schools in the US and when they hire teachers, let's say they always look at their LinkedIn profile, you know, and if you have such an activity on your LinkedIn profile, the school will be so much more interested in hiring you for them because they are looking for those teachers who are knowledgeable, who know what they're talking about, and who are able to present that knowledge. And those are the qualities of leaders, right? They would also choose such
Mm,
people for leaders. They would think, okay, this is a teacher that would not only be able to teach very well in my classroom, but maybe will be able to lead professional development activities for my other teachers in the school.
right.
So this helps in building those profiles.
Got it. So it's not just it's not just this typical activity wherein you not every day as a teacher you get to be immersed into such activities wherein you can kind of like have more interaction with the international community, with leaders, preparing like your own presentation, doing research on your own, and side by side again like that
Right.
on presence that it kind of like gives you.
If I want to add, Jan, that none of the work that the teachers do throughout the course is just like a tick on the box. Okay, so I've done this.
Exactly.
Okay, everything they do is deeply thought of and develops so many skills, so they become so excited in doing that.
Right, exactly, exactly. Well, perfect. Now, just to give a brief highlight of like everything we've mentioned when it comes to like the program, like the curriculum, as mentioned by Lulu, it is aligned with international standards, wherein it is globally relevant. You can apply it anywhere in the world, which is quite important if you're looking for opportunities abroad or anywhere, or like looking to enhance your position when it comes to your current school. Because as we all know, that's one of the ways to progress when it comes to your career, because they're looking, or a lot of classrooms around the globe are looking for teachers who have this globally relevant pedagogical skills. And again, there's also global faculty wherein teachers that are being professors that will be teaching the class are coming from with wide range of backgrounds when it comes to teaching international standards, and of course international experience. And again, there's technological enhanced teaching wherein technology is being used. There's AI being inculcated with when it comes to the program, when it comes to the courses, and then what you will be learning is going to be applied throughout your class in real life scenarios, and there's your action research as well. With that being said, say for example, this is such a great content, right? So say for example, can you give or guide our future students what will be kind of like the learning experience typically looks like for like here in the IT? So say for example they've enrolled and What's the learning experience for them looks like?
Okay, great. So some of the learning is synchronous, some of it is asynchronous. So
Mm,
whenever somebody joins, they went through the admission process and they are in the program.
mhm,
The minute they are in the program, our team directly reaches out to them and gives them access to our learning system with the access to the self-paced courses where they can start their learning. The self-paced courses include it has a lot of video content that is very interactive. It has a discussion platform, like we call it our own Twitter, where educators from all over the world discuss different. Now it's X. I know I'm still old school. Uh, so where are there the educators are discussing different topics of the hour, and there's some reading material, and and then there is as you mentioned, there is the skill evidence building, where they start uh, whatever they learn through the self-paced, through the classes.
mhm,
I'll talk a bit about the classes. Then we go to the application where we start building our skill evidence portfolio. As I mentioned, like I learn about curriculum design, I learn about it in the self-paced module. I attend the classes with an international professor who has taught in different parts of the world, with a group of educators that have come from different parts of the world, and we discuss curriculum design together, and we build the curriculum, basics of curriculum together.
right.
Then I go home, I go to my school and design a curriculum for my own class, for my own school. I apply it. And then my professors look at it and validate it and say, yes, this meets the standard. This needs a little bit of improvement. Go back, work on it, make it better so that it ticks the box of an international standard work. And all of that becomes saved on the learner skill evidence portfolio. All of this becomes like, an interactive learning journey where you feel like there are so many resources, so many things that you're learning. But then also you'll start developing those skills where we start guiding you on hosting your own master class. How do
Mm,
I do a master class? Maybe I'm an educator who wants to design professional development activities for my school. How do I do that? Or maybe I'm someone who's been working on my online presence as an educator, on my online identity as an international educator. How do I design such activities where I keep audience engaged in what I do? So they start building master classes. They do the panel discussion. In the panel discussion, there's also the element of inviting guests. So I have to interact with international educators, invite them for my panel, listen to their insights, and build a case out of what I'm learning. So, and all of this happens while I am in my own city, in my own home, in my own place. I don't have to go places and do things where I'm still teaching, where I'm still taking care of my family. We understand that sometimes it might become overwhelming, but we understand that, and we've built the program in a way that it is flexible in those cases.
mm,
So as you have here, it's a hybrid learning model because it's synchronous and asynchronous. We build a
mhm.
skills portfolio. We use a lot of case studies uh, in our learning. It's fully online, fully flexible, and you create master classes and panels.
Perfect. Sounds great. And this again, the the overall learning process is again built upon the idea that education is ever changing. So you need to keep up with the relevant skills while simultaneously doing professional development. By being wherever you are. don't have to leave your school, you don't have to leave your place, but you're still getting a high, a
Then
US.
not only that, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you today. I'm talking too much.
No
It's
worries.
not that you don't have to leave your school. Let's say with the action research, you are solving a problem
Mhm.
for your school. So
Exactly.
even your current school will love you more because you are learning and developing and helping the school community in that.
Perfect. Right. And that will also open opportunities, hopefully down the line, because they will see what you are doing.
Of course, of
Great.
course.
Great. So let's say, for example, Ms. Lulu, I have enrolled into like this master's in education again, and I have graduated, right? Congratulations to me. What does the future for an ITU graduate looks like? Hello?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Miss, you broke a bit there. I don't
Yeah.
know if it was only me. Okay, so for our graduates, you graduate. You have a degree from a US university, you have a master's degree from a US degree in education. You have developed your pedagogical skills so well. You have developed your communication skills. You have now online presence. People from all around the world know you. They've attended your master class. They've seen your panel discussion. So now you are sort of a star, right? So
Mhm.
now if you apply to any job around the world, or I always say, if even if it's your own school, it can be your own school in your own area. It can be in any school around the world. Now you have the skills, you have the confidence, you have the power of cracking those jobs. If they have tough interviews, if they have tough eligibility criteria, now going in your career. It be it global teaching roles or being in your school. Maybe in your school now you have developed leadership skills, so you can become a leader. Uh, it's the pathway for your PhD, for the next level of education. If that's something that's also in the line for you, you'll be happier in your job because now you will understand pedagogy more. You feel like you're able to reach to your students. You're not overwhelmed with all the tools and all the things that are available out there because you understand the basics of and why, you know, and you
Right.
become this confident, happy educator that's able to reach to all their students, that has become maybe also the come-to person in school. Well, your colleagues, you'll feel like your colleagues now are coming and asking you, I did this, I did that, what do you feel, what do you think about that, and it will reflect on your job satisfaction.
Right. Perfect. And that goes into basically being a graduate of the ITU's Masters in Education program, gives you that kind of like competitive edge. As you mentioned, just not just by having a US Masters in Education program, but also having like, again the skills that you can kind of like compete or you beat other teachers when it comes to like competition, enhance your own skills, really have the confidence, the pathway when it comes to being a star, when it comes to your school, to the future school that you will be applying to wherever you will be applying to. And again, that gives you higher job satisfaction. As higher job position usually means better salary. Better salary means higher job satisfaction. So that's what most people are working towards as well. So thank you so much for
Right, and
sharing.
now you have the leverage. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, go
just want
ahead.
to say that now you have the leverage of choosing your school. Sometimes we get
Exactly.
stuck in a place where we don't want to be, right? So gives us the push to be in a better place.
100%. And that's why professional development is a key thing, really, for those teachers who wants to break out of their current situation, if they feel stagnant, if they feel like the repetitiveness of being a teacher, definitely professional development
Right.
is the right way to go. And again, as mentioned earlier, there's lifetime alumni network that you can connect with other teachers doing the program. And again, as you go through, and there's like an ongoing support accordingly. So thank you so much for providing us and everyone here such like a detailed information regarding the program, Miss Lulu. And we are incredibly fortunate like to have with you us here for today. So before we move forward, actually, and guide everyone regarding the admission requirements. There you will see a poll here. Just wanted to would like to know or curious, do you have any bachelor's degree of education, PGCTL, or any bachelor's level teaching qualification like from any regular university? And this is important to know, not just for us to kind of like help when it comes to the admission process, but more of I would say kind of like getting to know our audience where they stand when it comes to their career wise, where they are right now. So I can see roughly around 80% of our teachers who are here for today have their teaching qualification with the B.Ed, PGCTL, or like any bachelor's level teaching qualification. Perfect. And for those who have not had or who haven't done any of those degrees, I would say you can, maybe start looking into that or as a first step, or again, something that we can kind of like have a conversation later down the line as well. All right. Perfect. So that poll will be there, so we can continuously answer accordingly. So moving ahead, right, I kind of like want to touch on more of like the admission requirements. So for those who have done their bachelor's degree in the US, right? Usually if you have your bachelor's degree done in the US, that's good to go. But for those who have done their bachelor's degree outside US, you need to do kind of like an equivalency wherein to check whether or not your bachelor's degree is on the same level as like a bachelor's degree as per like the US standards. And there's also a minimum requirement when it comes to your GPA. So that's the 2.6 out of 4.0 scale, but roughly around 65% will be kind of like the needed. And there's also an English proficiency requirements. And again, Bachelor's of Education, or as mentioned, or any other teaching qualification is kind of like a requirement as well. Again, as mentioned, if your bachelor's degree is taken outside US, say for example, you've done it in South Africa, or you've done it in the Philippines, or you've done it in the UAE, if you want to enroll in the program, you kind of like have to go through an equivalency procedure. We'll guide you on how to do that as we go through like the overall admission process, the step by step. But for now, this is just like for those who are looking into like the ITUs M.Ed, this is the major requirements that have like go into. All right. All right, so now moving ahead, like what's the admission process looking like? So for those who are already well and good, wanted to pursue that kind of professional development, wanted to pursue that kind of growth when it comes to their career, well, you will see on the chat a link to a application form. So that's the very first step. You can submit an online application, wherein there's no application fee or anything, but that's the very first step. Once you submit the application form, you'll receive an admission confirmation that, okay, you have submitted your application. And for those who are eligible and good to go after going through like the admission check, make sure everything is good to go, will be granted a provisional admission for the program. Now, once you've received that provisional letter, your provisional admission, you can complete like the necessary formalities, submit any other documents that are needed, and of course, you can settle it. You'll need to settle the tuition fee to confirm like your admission. Again, the link for the application form is there already. Later down the line, after we've gone through everything, for those who are looking to get guidance on the application form, you can stay on the call. I can guide you one by one, not one by one. I like for the whole application to see like what are the needed to be submitted, what are the things that being asked on this specific stuff. So we can kind of like go through the application later down. Okay, so but that's like the overall admission. Again, submit the application form. You can submit it as soon as after this call is done. It's no problem, or even right now. Upload the necessary documents. Once it's done, you get a confirmation, and then you can secure your admission. All right, great. So in that sense, there's also comes an important question when it comes to our beloved audience. This is actually a poll that I'm curious to know. So you are aware of like how important a US, or I would say like how valuable a US master's degree in education is. So I would like to ask, you will see another poll that will be coming up here in a second. What do you think is the average cost of an M.Ed from a US approved university? Do you think it's 5,000 to 10,000 US dollars? Do you think it's 10,000 to 30,000 US dollars? Or do you think it's more than 30,000 US dollars? And again, this is just a way for me to see, okay, given all the things that you've seen, given how valuable a US master's in education is, what do you think is typical price range for them? Oh, oh, it's 50-50 right now between first and the second choice, but 50-50. Yeah, let's give it a few. Again, I can see the chat, like the questions of the people. If you have any question, by the way, you can use the chat, type it in. We'll have a question and answer later on the line. We'll answer any questions that are being mentioned there. Got it. All right. So, as of the moment, most actually half more around half of our people of our audience mentioned the 5,000 to 10,000 US dollars, and about almost half mentions 10,000 to 30,000. With some mention 30,000 or more. Well, based on our team's research, and this is something that you can confirm as well, an average tuition of a master's in education from any approved US university is around 20,000 to 51,000 US dollars. What do you think about that? So 20,000 to 51,000 US dollars. That's for the whole master's in education program. It's a bit, high. Now here's the thing, right? From what you have seen so far and what Miss Lulu have shared when it comes to like the potential growth, when it comes to what you will be learning, when it comes to the whole Masters in Education program, curriculum, integration of the generative AI, the total learning investment for the International Teachers University Masters in Education is actually 6,000 US dollars. So the average cost is 20,000 to 51,000 of like a US master's degree. For ITU, it's 6,000 US dollars. Why is it so far from the average? Well, it's actually mentioned already by Ms. Lulu earlier because it is made by teachers for teachers. It commits high quality education, as mentioned previously, an even much affordable option. See, even Tasneem mentioned Stanford is offering 21,000 US dollars. Or actually, wait, yeah, that's 21,000 US dollars. For this, everything we've mentioned, everything we have discussed, for 6,000 US dollars. And again, there's also comes some flexibility options. And there's also some, when it comes to like scholarships that we'll be talking about later down the line. So if this is something that feels good to you, that everything is good to go, so how do you start? Well, the admissions are open a year round, but the deadline that are coming up, I would say submit your application even before the end of the month so that you can secure your seat. You can make sure that you don't forget, you don't miss any kind of seats when it comes to like the whole masters in education. So you can submit your application, like that's the very first step, right? For those who have some questions, have some queries that would like to clarify some things, we can schedule an admission advisory session. You'll see another link that will be coming up in the chat, wherein you can schedule a call, right? Choose a timing for your side and clarify some questions that you have. Right? You can book a free advisory session, right? Get a personal guidance. You can speak to that advisor, tell them what your special circumstances are, and you'll get a personalized guidance for that. When will the class start? Well, again, the admissions are open year round. So as soon as you finish the admission process, you can already start your learning right away. That's one of the great things about it. And then you'll be allocated to the as mentioned by Ms. Lulu, there's synchronous and asynchronous part of like the program. So you can start learning as soon as you finish the admission process, and then once the classes are available, you'll be allocated kind of like that. So again, for those who have some queries regarding the masters in education, you can book a advisory session there. Now, as mentioned, there are some ways. Again, the 6,000 US dollars is already far from like the average, as mentioned earlier. And there's even more options to pay it in blocks. And there's also ways you can reduce the amount that you will be paying. That's through scholarships. Ms. Lulu, could you run us through like what these scholarships are, and kind of like give us an overview of it?
Sure. Before I answer the scholarship question, because I'm seeing the questions coming in the messages, I would advise everyone first just to fill the application form. Once you fill the application form, the team will be able to evaluate it, and they will guide you on how fit you are for the program and how the program would be beneficial for you. So I would advise everybody right now on the call, fill the form, and you will be receiving a guidance from the team on that. Now, of course, we have scholarship for our educators who we want the best educators to be part of this program because it is very beneficial. It will help them grow, it will help them develop. So we have those four scholarships that focus basically on experience, on education. We have people, let's say, who have 2 3 bachelor's degrees and they want to grow more, and they want, or maybe they don't have much experience in teaching, they want to become educators. We have people who have been teaching for so long, who have been leaders for so long. That's how we created this scholarship structure, so that we make sure that we help all of those outstanding educators that want to become better, that want to improve. But sometimes the financial status can become a bit of a block for them. So we want to help them around.
Perfect. With that, then, thanks so much for sharing there. Again, this is a way for those teachers who have the, I would say, distinguished, who's looking to get further reduction on the fees. This is I think that you can kind of like go into, and side by side, again, I can see a chat or in installments, if installments are available. Definitely it is. There's a flexibility when it comes to payments, as well. And that's something that you kind of like get inculcated on from our financing later down the line. But most importantly, the most important thing here is actually going through like really the application process, getting it started. And again, after this whole call, again, we can have you can, for those people who are have the application open, we can open together, do side by side, and fill it up together as well. Okay, so that's kind of like mostly it. And there will be another poll that will be coming up here on your screen, and this will be like our last poll for today. So this is a quick question we're in. Would you like to connect with our admission advisor, like when it comes to specific guidance? If you have any questions, would you like our team to reach out to you? But if after this call you feel like okay, everything is good to go from my side, you can click no. So there's yes, no, maybe. We can reach out to you later on as well. So this is a quick poll for to see who would like to have more conversations with our admission advisors. Yeah. Perfect. So let's take time to again, while our audience answers that poll, let's take time to answer some questions that are being mentioned here on the chat. Well, I saw a question when it comes to the future prospects when it comes to higher qualification after this master's in education. So, say, for example, PhDs, things like that. Could you enlighten us on that, Ms. Lulu?
Yes, of
So,
course. So this is a recognized master's program. So once you graduate, you receive your certificate, then you become eligible for further study through your PhD or any other further study that you would aspire for.
perfect. So this and just to add into that, this is actually has the right set of units that are needed so that you can again as a proper master's in education. So this opens up opportunities for PhDs later down the line as it is again a proper master's degree in education. There's also a question here from Sumaira wherein how beneficial is a master's in education program for like getting leadership roles in the UAE schools, or I would say let's contextualize it to like any schools in general.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, I'll answer this in a way maybe I've said it, but then as you go through the program, you are developing so many skills that if there's a leadership role and you apply for that, you'll be able to ace it. But now, here you go. I have for this post for this job, and not only I have the degree, I also have the skills. I'm very strong on pedagogy, and I am a 21st century educator. I can lead professional development activities. Here is a proof. I've done a master class. I've done a panel discussion. I can I'm an expert in my field. Let's say in my specialty, I can be the head of department in my specialty because I've developed this much on teaching mathematics, for example. So I can qualify to be the head of math in the school, and I'm very strong on pedagogy. So it offers you everything that's needed to become a leader.
got it. And one really great way to like have to visualize it is basically, having the right set of skills to open, certain doors of opportunities that will come in the future, right? Having that, not just having the masters in education as your keys, but also having the skills, the skill evidences, and the confidence to kind of like open those door of opportunities that will come later down the line. Because if you don't have the keys, it will not open for you. Right?
Plus the connections, John, because now
Exactly.
their classmates are teachers or they might be leaders in different schools, or your
Mhm.
professor can have connections, can be a leader in a certain school. So even the connections part you have.
Exactly. So that's another great thing. And this actually goes into the next question that I see from Ms. Masuma here. Is like, how is an M.Ed online different from a regular M.Ed? No,
Okay,
or
so
a
we've
regular
seen
M.Ed. No.
how, with the pandemic hitting and all this change, I think the world has started understanding the value of online learning, and the self-paced learning. I would say the only difference between online embed and the face-to-face one, the only difference would be is what skills are you developing in each of the program.
Mm.
You might be going to a university every single day, physically attending classes, meeting people, but you're not developing the skills that you would need for a 21st century classroom. To
Mhm.
evaluate the program based on what will you be learning, what will you be gaining out of this learning experience.
100%. And aside from that, again, the online part is that the one thing is that not everybody is going to be able to kind of like leave their class or like leave their house when it comes to taking
Yeah,
a regular MED. So that gives that
right.
flexibility for those who are working, yet
It's
somehow, and
flexible.
yet
You can do it from anywhere, and it'll give you the
exactly.
flexibility to move anywhere. That's of course that's granted. That's taken for granted. That's what I'm saying. What is extra if I say I have an online graduate and I have an offline graduate? Which one would I
Mm,
choose as a school leader? Right now, all governments have come to accept online qualifications more and more. So if I'm a school leader, I have somebody with an online graduate and somebody who's offline graduate, and I need to choose. I don't
mhm.
think that will play a big role. What will help me choose this teacher is what kind of skills do those teachers does this teacher have,
Right.
right? I'll not look a lot at how the degree was taken, but I'll look at more. Will this teacher be able to manage the classroom effectively? Will this teacher
Right.
be able to reach all the students? Will this teacher be able to use technology in the right way? That's are the things
Mm.
that the principal would be evaluating.
And that's what they're looking for. Like, does this teacher have the skills that our school needs or that our classroom needs, right, to handle the
Exactly.
students that are what we have, and that's kind of like how it boils down to, right? Not yes. Again, the filtration process just happens through like the CVs, and it's quick. So if you're able to present your skills based on your CV, which will be discussed as you throughout like the Masters in Education program as well. So how you build your profile or how you build your CV in a way that you beat the other competition. So again, that's kind of like one advantage of it as well. So you know having that kind of in, and then of course there's the interview, how you handle those questions, how you answer those questions. That will matter most, not whether or not it's regular or whether or not it's taken offline or online. Yeah. So again, the when it comes to acceptance, again, if you think of it, like it is a proper Masters in Education program that is approved like in the US. So if you plan to use it anywhere else, you have to go through like, the equivalency process, the same process that you'll do with your bachelor's degree or master's degree that you took from any university outside the country that you're planning to teach in. So it's the same process, and should be good to go. Got it. Flexibility when it comes to mode of payment. I can answer this. There's installment payments that are available. Um, Again, the financing can give you a bit more information on that later down the line. But the most important thing is going to be like the application form to see, because we need to check first, are you eligible for any kind of scholarships? If there's any further reduction on the fees on your side, how much, and then they'll give you a breakdown of, okay, this will be your payment options and payment plans. Okay, so that's kind of like how it goes. Again, the most important thing is the application form. And again, the application form, you can fill it up right now. It's free of cost. There's no application fee for that. Right? Can you guide which universities approve M.Ed online for PhDs? Okay, which universities approve M.Ed online for PhDs? So the most important thing for PhD is definitely whether or not you meet the unit requirements to apply for that PhD. Which this Masters in Education will be able to give you that kind of unit requirements, especially like in the US. Again, there's also some equivalency process that you have to go through if you're applying for PhD also like US. That's something that we'll have to go through. Anything to add on this question from Ms. Masuma? Lulu?
Oh, I see
Uh,
that many of our teachers are interested in the M.Ed and they want to go further in their studies,
yeah,
but there is no one right answer for that, because every institution has its own regulations, every country, every sometimes in the same country, different states, different different regulatory bodies require different requirements. What we can say about our M.Ed is you can equalize it and you would receive a proper equalization of a master's degree in other countries.
got it.
And it would go through the regulations.
Got it. Be it from MOE, be it from a Minister of Education from different country, be it from anywhere.
Yeah.
And whatever the equivalency process. Got it. I think that's mostly it. That's enough time we have when it comes to our question and answer. Again, for those teachers who are like ready to go or even have the application form open right now, after this call, like you can stay. I'll go through like the application process, what are being asked, what do you need to upload, one by one. And if you have any question regarding the application form, we can ask me directly here on this call itself. So I'll stay for a bit and like, go through the application form for you guys. But that's mostly it. Thank you so much for those who have attended. Miss Lu, do you have any last few words when it comes to our discussion to our audience for today?
Yes, yes. I'd like first to thank each and everybody who stayed with us till this time. It's like it's been more than an hour now, and we've been on the call. So it means you are taking you are someone who has taken the responsibility of your own development. I want to applaud you for that. Uh, I want to tell you, don't wait. Take your decision right now, because there are so many opportunities available right now. Fill up the application form. You have any questions, the team will help you in clarifying this. The whole team will be around for any queries, for any guidance you need. uh, I'll just say, don't, of course, research, take an informed decision, but don't wait so long. Take the decision, hold the steer wheels of your career in your hands right now. Don't wait on that because the world is moving so fast.
Right, 100%. And
Thank you
again,
so much,
education is
Jam.
ever
Thank you for
changing.
everyone. I'll take a leave now, I think.
Thank you so much, Miss Lulu.
I'll take
And
a
thank
leave
you so
now.
much for our
Yeah.
audience. Yeah, no worries. That's completely fine. And for those
Okay.
who will
I'll
be
leave
staying,
you.
yeah, for those who will be
I know
staying,
that everybody is in good hands. You'll take them through the application process.
right. So for those who will be staying, I'll be sharing my screen in a few, just so that I can guide everyone when it comes to like the application process and kind of like how it goes. So if you click the link, right? If you click the link, I'll share. This is what you will be facing with. So once you click the link, you'll be asked to log in, do your input your credentials. So here, what I will suggest is you can mention your emails. You can mention your email. You can also sign with an OTP, so you'll receive a verification or like a number on your email that you can kind of like use to log in. So let me just quickly do that. Stop my share. So I quickly do that so that we can kind of like go through like the application process. Again, the link for the application form is there in the chat. Please use it. We can go through the application, submit the applications, together. So I have my code with me. Let me use that and again. Got it. So, for those who have an account already, some places will be kind of like pre-filled. But for those who have not, the very first question is going to be like your name, so you can kind of like input John Branjo, Lupo, and then if your name is different from your academic qualification that is being mentioned, you can click yes. You can click no. Usually, it's there's no issue there. So you can mention your birthday here. I'll just put a random date here for everyone. So you can just mention a random date. You can choose your nationality. This is going to be more of like a identification. And you still need to submit your ID, so that be it passport or your national ID. So once you click passport, you'll be asked to upload documents. So let me just quickly upload any random document that are available. So you'll need to go through your documents. So let me just quickly upload this. So that's front and back being asked. So if you don't have a copy of the back, no problem. Just click the back. So you'll need to mention like the passport number, and then of course the email is going to be pre-filled if you use the email. And let's do your number so you can choose. I can see question. Your name on the degree is different from your current name. If that is different, click yes here. And then you'll need to mention like the name on your academic qualification. Okay, so you'll just put first name and last name. Okay, so if your name is different, then click yes. If it's not different, click no. Yeah, perfect. So, all right. So you'll need to mention your number as well. This is important, and country of residence. On this part, so you can do a quick certify UAE by. So just your address, and you can click yes if it's your permanent address. And if you have been referred by someone, I mean, you can click yes here and just type, what do you call this? Type info session, just so that we know that you submitted this during the info session. Okay, if this is good to go, again, this is our basic, this is going to be basic information that is being asked. Then you can click next if everything is good to go. Oh, yeah, so number is going to be different. 6. Okay, got it. That should be okay. What is so you if you click submit and there's some errors that are coming up, what is being asked? Hello? Someone from the team check. Why is it not letting me go next? Okay, there you go. It's asking me to do upload. Oh, okay. Let me just do this quickly then. Should be. Let me just do this again. One. Okay. Um, Bye. Okay. Okay. Why is it not getting available? Hmm. Is it not letting me go through? Give me a second. Facing some technical issues here. Uh, Anyone from the team still on the chat? Yeah, kind of like quickly check, but I think I know the reason why. Just check. I think it's something to do with the link that I used to um fill the form. I just clicked the link that is mentioned there. I think I've done this a few times that it's not letting me submit it. I was doing it earlier and it was good to go. It's not letting me proceed. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should try a different email. Okay. Got it. Anyways, what I'll do is for those who have some issues when it comes to like the application form, you can let me try once more. I think you should not face anything. So it should ask you about like the or the okay. I can share my screen now. Okay, no worries. Right. The next thing that you will be asked is going to be like employment details. Let's quickly go through it. So you need to add employment details. On the title, just write like the title or the position you've held. So you can write teacher or like mathematics teacher. Say for example, and the subject is like mathematics. Organization. So which school? So let's say like Dubai school. Organization is institution type. So is it a school? Is it a university? Is it like tutoring? You can mention it here. If it is school, you'll be asked to type like the school board. If it is your university, you can directly go ahead. So say for example, school, the curriculum is IB curriculum, teaching level. Is it you're teaching in like which level? Is it primary, secondary, grade school, or like are you a management position? So let's say for example, middle school. The teaching role, is it like are you a class teacher or are you a subject teacher or like a head of department? So let's say for example, a subject teacher, and which UAE, which country you are teaching in. So let's say for example, United Arab Emirates. Now here you will be asked when it comes to like your start date and end date. So meaning to say if you have multiple teaching experiences, you can write start date and end date for that. If you want to mention like your current teaching role, just write this you're currently working, so it will not ask you your end date. And then on this part, you'll just type in like when did you start? Say for example, 2023 January 2017. So then you can add that. If you want to mention your salary, you can do that as well. So it will mention there like your employment information. If you want to add another experience, you can do it the same thing as well. So it is quite easy to go ahead. Yeah, sounds good. Perfect. So we move ahead. There's going to be language proficiency. Language proficiency, you can click which language. So say for example, English, and then level of proficiency, you can go native, full professional, professionally working. So if you have evidence, let's say for example, IELTS, you can upload that as well. Okay. But for now, let's not add it so that we can move ahead. Click next. Now here's an important part, academic qualifications. So when you say academic qualifications, what qualifications do you have? Like your bachelor's degree. So say for example, when it comes to like name of qualification, bachelor's degree in science. So for example, there, biology or like mathematics and name of institution. So which university you took it from. So say for example, UAE University, which country, right? Qualification format, it's just going to ask you, is it regular, is it distance? Qualification level, is it a diploma? Is it a doctorate? Is it graduate? Is it postgraduate? So let's say, for example, graduate, since it's bachelor's degree. Which field? So you can quickly type in, so is it mathematics? You can see there mathematics. Is it commerce? You'll see there. So let's say, for example, for our purposes, we'll do mathematics. Here, it will ask you like a start date or end date. So say, for example, we started on 2018, January, and then end date it's going to be like say for example January 2020. somewhere along those lines. And then grade. Grade is very important because this will be part of like your this will be part of your admission requirements later down the line. So you can type percentage or GPA or GPA. Say, for example, for our purposes, it's like 65%. Now, here is important. You will need to upload two things, your degree certificate and your transcript. So, degree certificate and transcript is important to be uploaded. Those two things, degree certificate and transcript. So if you have that available with you, you can directly upload it right away. So for now, we can upload it. If you don't have it available, that's no problem. You just need to upload like your transcript. And if the final degree certificate is not available, that's no problem. You can upload your transcript like twice. And then our team will kind of like get in touch with you to see like what's the next step. Okay? Then you can click add. Once you click add, everything will be mentioned there. If you have your master's degree, you can do the same thing as well. But for our purposes, we can move on. If you have any other certification, say for example, TEFL certificate, things like that, TESOL, anything, you can upload here as well. For now, we can proceed. Now here is some declaration. You can read through it. So basically, some declarations that you need to submit your equivalency, that this is the requirements, so things like that. So you can click declaration there, click the check mark, and click next. Okay, got it. Now, here, you'll be asked when it comes to like, do you want to apply for scholarships? Now, you can click here to see what scholarships are available. Again, these are the scholarship that was mentioned earlier. The scholarship awards, like say for example, President Scholarship Awards, like up to 1,000 US dollars reduction on the fees. There's this, which is up to 600. This is 600, things like that. So there's also like eligibility criteria for that you will be needing to meet. So if you feel like you meet that kind of that kind of requirement, then you can click yes, and then we choose which scholarship type you will go into. And then our team will kind of like review your application that you are eligible for that scholarship. And then you'll be asked to choose like your specialization, meaning to say you'll be asked to choose which of like the choices that you would kind of like go into. So you can go for language and literacy, teaching mathematics or numeracy, teaching in early years. If you're teaching in early years and like such specialist subject, you can click not sure yet. That's no problem. Okay. If you're not sure like which one to go for. Say for example, our purposes we do mathematics. And we go next. Now these are some additional information. So where did you hear like the masters in education? If you have to fill it up. So for example, we do like others like info session. Uh yeah, so yeah, do you have any learning and recommendation? You click yes. If you have it suspended for 5 previous, you click yes or no. And then if you are completed, you click no. Okay. So then that's just some additional information. Then you click next. These are some additional information like gender, Hispanic or Latino, if you prefer, and then some others if you information. Okay. No. Sure. Then you click next. Now, this is some additional declaration that, okay, this is everything you've submitted is good to go. Documents are original, everything is good to go. You click accept, and then you submit. Once you submit, you'll receive a notification that, oh, you have submitted your application, and it is being reviewed. Usually about roughly 5 days time, or like 3 to 5 days time, working time, that the team will review your application, and if everything is good to go, if there's some needed information or other things, they'll ask you for that documents to submit. If there's everything is good to go, you'll receive a provisional letter, giving a breakdown when it comes to your scholarships, how much are the fees, and the installment options that are available. Okay, that's it. Any question, anything that is not clear when it comes to the application form? Again, I'll link the application form here in the chat just so that everybody can see it. It's there. You can start it right away. It's not that complicated process. You can submit it right away. Right? Thank you so much for sticking. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to us or you can book a session so that we can have another conversation. That's no problem. But yeah, You can submit your application as soon as possible, get it done so that you can block your slot and not and get your seat secure. But that's mostly it from my side. Thank you so much for sticking in. I wish you all the best when it comes to your career journey. Thank you so much for joining with us. Take care. Bye. Shiana, yeah, thank you so much for your application. Our team will reach out to you accordingly.